Hi everyone, I'm Max,
Hi, I'm Jay.
and we're the non-binary nomads. Okay, so we got a bunch of questions from our followers that we are going to go over today. Jay has not heard any of these questions.
No.
And has been drinky. So,
I'm drinking wine.
Candy Rosé.
Yeah, it sounds terrible, but it's actually really good.
It's actually not sweet either, apparently, even though it's called candy.
It's delicious.
Which is weird. Anyway, being drunk always makes everything a lot more fun. So here we go.
More chatty, that's all.
And a little bit glowy.
I have the glow going.
Which I love. I just love it in general.
Thanks.
Okay. Let's start at the bottom and be kind of funky. What is the funniest thing that happened to us on trail?
I mean, are we gonna tell that story?
I think we should tell that story.
Okay. I mean,
you want me to set it up, or you should set it up?
I'm just gonna tell the whole thing
Just
because
go for
I'm
it.
the one that had to experience it.
I had to deal with it at the end.
Listen, we've got a lot of funny stories, but my shirt's all. Okay. Anyways, so one morning we were on the PCT, and the day before was the worst. I think we didn't even make 8 miles that day. Maybe it was just
yeah, it was like
just straight up
uphill.
switchbacks.
Yeah.
Coming out of the desert.
So it was hot and we were sweaty and
At one point, I thought I had a tick in my butt, but I didn't because
Yeah.
Max looked for me.
I did look. That's how close we are.
So anyways, we set up at this campsite. We were by ourselves. It was actually pretty cool.
Kind of on the edge of like this mountainous area, so we could kind of see the sunset, and sunrise on
Yeah,
different
it
spots.
was really pretty. The wind was blocked. It was pretty ideal.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, as per every morning, we both get up and we have to go do our business.
We both poop in the morning multiple times.
I mean, you just should, because anywhere else on trail is really questionable. So you got to get it done in the morning.
We had our privacy.
No
We
one
had
was
good
there.
metabolisms.
And there was this like ideal little spot. So it's like you went behind the tent, and then there was like this little hill
Yeah, it
and
kind
it
of
was
like
like-
sloping down a little bit, but there were trees.
covered in trees.
Yeah.
It had like loose dirt. It was actually like sand texture.
It's like a perfect like half circle almost. Of
Yeah,
just, like,
really
you
great
could
privacy.
see everything, but nobody could see you.
Um, so I'm burping now. My wine's making me burp.
Yeah.
Max went first and did their business.
Mhm.
And then I went second. And everything went as planned for the most part. And then I finished without detail. And then I started walking back up the hill, back to the tent. And in my first step, I said, "Oh my God, I just step in shit." And it was fresh. It definitely wasn't left there from,
Another camper.
yeah, because there's no one else there, and so it would have had to have been the day before if it was anywhere else. So guess whose it was? It was this guy's.
I always think I dig pretty deep, and then sometimes I just gotta go.
Sand
you know,
can be
and
deceiving.
very deceiving.
So I walked back to the campsite, kind of like hopped and like walked on my heel because it was on the toe of my shoe.
Yeah.
And I said, "Babe, I just stepped in your shit."
I thought they were messing around.
It was not
They were
messing
not
around.
messing around. So I took a stick and had to clean it off of their shoe because it belonged to me.
Maybe it's only funny because we've been on long hikes and like that's just like poop stories are inevitable.
Yeah, it always happens on a major
We're
hike.
like literally just waiting to see who shits their pants first.
Yeah,
So.
because apparently you're not a through hiker unless you shit your pants.
Yeah. So I stepped in my partner's poop and we're still engaged. And honestly, I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah.
You thought I was mad about it. I
I
really
did.
wasn't. It was just like,
Panicked.
this is really uncomfortable and I'm not going to clean this off my shoe because it's your business and you should clean it off my shoe.
Yeah, so that was the funniest thing that happened to us on trail so far. Good
Cool.
stuff. What kind of tattoos do we have?
Oh. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Should we show or just tell?
I don't want to take my shirt off to show my shoulder. bone.
Okay, alright. I have 3. I have a tattoo on my right foot that is like a fancy script. It was my first one, and it says, "The purpose of life is a life of purpose." That was my I'm 18 now tattoo. My second one was a bioluminescent jellyfish on my back. It is blue, pink, and purple, and it's got like these boxes on it that kind of make it look
It's
pixelated.
watercolor.
Yeah, it's a watercolor tattoo. It's probably like that big maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's not huge. And then I have this one, which is a horny toad done by Sarah Twiggy in Monterey, California. And I got that one because we saw a bunch of those on our PCT trip last summer, and it was a good memory.
Yeah, we both decided we were going to get a horn toad tattoo, but I spend my money on a lot of other things, and I don't have the money to get a tattoo right now. So.
And I found an artist that I like, so I went for it.
Yeah. I have my baby gray whale, which was, there's a long story. It was a breakup tattoo, but I love it. I also have Riots Not Diets on my arm. And then I have my tattoo on my back that I'm sure you've seen on Instagram because I mostly wear tank tops when I day hike. So
yeah, it's a bunch of trees in a circle.
Yeah, that one was freehand drawn by Casper at Earthbound Tattoo, and I love it. It's actually probably my best tattoo.
Okay, how did you meet? Okay.
Right, we haven't told that story?
I don't know. Somebody asked, so I guess not.
Okay.
I moved here at the beginning of 2017. I was with one of my partners. I had just gotten out of the Marine Corps and didn't know what to do, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the West Coast. So I did. Didn't last because I stopped drinking and sobered up, and that just didn't really work with our relationship dynamic. In the meantime, I started working at the place that we work. Some of you
don't
probably
really like
know, but
talking about work.
We're not really gonna mention it. And Jay was already working there, so we avoided each other for the first year.
Dude, they were so awkward that I couldn't handle it because I'm awkward too, and it was just like painful. So I just figured they didn't like me, which is whatever. I mean, there's people out there that don't like me, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it wasn't that I didn't like you, it was just I was nervous around you. And then finally one day we were kind of messing around, and I was like, when are we going to hang out? And your response was?
Probably never. No, before that...
oh, yeah.
I was talking with someone else
at
work, and
Rachel.
This girl was like, I would date you, and I was like, you're too young. And then I turn around and Max is there, and Max is like, I would date you, with a haha look on their face, but also like, oh fuck, I just said that, I'm being serious look. And I said, you're way too fucking young.
There's a 12-year gap between us.
Yeah, and so I walked away from them, and then they asked when we would hang out, and I said, probably never. And I was trying to be funny.
But it really wasn't funny. Well, kind of.
I have a dry humor.
But now we have that engraved on the inside of our wedding rings.
Yeah, it says prob never.
Prob never.
Yeah.
And then we finally did hang out. We went and explored this cave on the coast with Bosley, and after we hung out or whatever, we went back to work and we're talking, and I was like, so, like, what do you think of our hangout? And you were like...
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. And then you're like, let me
I was joking again by the 3 out of 10.
Yeah, but you say things with a straight face.
But here's the thing, if you can't keep up with the humor, then we're probably not going to make it, right?
I mean, I can keep up, obviously, but when you're first trying to meet somebody, you're supposed to be, like, a little bit nicer so that, like, you can kind of, like, bridge the gap.
I would also like to say that I was single for the longest time in my life at this point. I was very much working on myself, and I liked the way things were going. I liked being single. I was doing great. With that said, I regret nothing as far as dating and being together goes. Yeah. It's just at the time, I didn't know them, and I didn't want to date, honestly. So here we are.
Here we are. And it only went up from there because that was pretty low.
It was high for me, honestly.
Next question. How has nature changed your perspective on the world? Ooh,
it's really
deep.
Yeah, it's like it's probably the most important thing to me. And dogs.
Yeah, dogs could be considered part of nature.
I guess. No, people made those.
Yeah, well, they domestic. Anyway, Yeah, nature's really important to me. It heals a lot of things for me. It's kind of a place where I don't feel anxious or depressed, which is a really big deal for me because I don't get a break from that often.
Yeah, my anxiety was at an all-time low on the PCT because that's the longest I've ever been out, and that I thought it was going to be higher because a lot of things were unknown and just not. There were no like yes or no answers necessarily, and I thought that I was going to be really stressed out, but honestly, that's the lowest my anxiety's been since I don't know whenever it started.
Yeah.
So.
Nature's also a place that doesn't judge us for who we are. We don't exactly fit into your like binary category of genders. So it's a place where we're not really judged normally.
Yeah, I don't think about like what my body looks like in nature, and I don't think about what other people think about me, or it's just really nice to get out and enjoy silence sometimes and fresh air or
and I don't have
birds.
To deal with bathrooms.
Oh my god, I love pooping outside.
Yeah, you can go anywhere as long as you dig a hole and it's responsible or whatever, you know?
Yes, be responsible about your pooping.
Yeah. So nature has definitely changed our perspective on the world. It's a safe haven for me.
I mean, honestly, I've always had nature in my life. I've been really, really lucky growing up in a place that it was just accessible. But I don't honestly know what kind of person I'd be without it. It's a big part of who I am. And I've been in city situations where I can't really get out and do... there's a video thing that's going to talk in the background. Don't worry about it. I've been in situations where like nature wasn't necessarily accessible, and I don't feel like I'm my true self.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really important for me and my view on the world.
I would have to agree with that. Traveling tips as a couple. Communication.
Yeah, lots of... I mean, clearly, if you can see how openly we're talking about pooping right now, we
communicate.
We're so open.
Yeah.
I'm an over-communicator, as I've been accused of. Not by you. Not by you, but like other people.
I can communicate if you ask me the question. But if you don't ask me the question, I have a hard time saying, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and standing up for my feelings, which I think a lot of people have an issue with.
Yeah, but I think that's why we work, is because I try to work out the way I'm feeling, and if I don't understand the situation, I try to get your side of things.
Yeah, and you don't make me feel attacked by asking those questions, which is pretty important for me.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, though, our first trip was 10 days... car camping in my brand new car without showering in the middle of winter, and we visited...
It was a hot winter, though. It was a very warm winter. There's no snow.
Three different states?
Yeah, we went to Utah, Arizona, and then back through Nevada.
And then we were from California, so 4. So we really didn't have any expectations, I think, which was also cool.
It was either going to go well or it was going to be terrible.
Yeah, and we were going to spend 10 days together and hope for the best.
And it went great.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that Max doesn't believe that I saw a UFO, so... That's a whole other
Ironic
video.
That I'm wearing a UFO shirt right now.
That's why I bought it for you.
Yeah, that's probably...
That's a different video, y'all.
If you want to know about it, shoot us a comment or something. We'll make another video.
I'll have some more wine and talk about it.
Yeah, and I'll sit here and nod my head. And anyway.
But, hold on, backtracking. Traveling with your partner, communication is absolute key, but also patience, because traveling can be very stressful on both of you. And I think in the beginning, like before you even leave for the trip, you have to set each other up with what to expect. So I get car sick really easily. I sleep a lot through my car sickness because it really, once I'm sick, the rest of my day's shot. So that
was confusing for me because you're also not a napper. You don't take naps.
I don't nap
normally.
Yeah,
so I needed to know that.
In the beginning, I said that. Yeah, I was like, hey, this is a 10-hour drive. I could sleep through the whole 10 hours. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think I just ended up sleeping the last few hours.
No, remember that day our way on
Well,
our
on
way
the way
back?
back, yeah.
Yeah. So on the way out, no, you were awake most of the time. We like talked or whatever, got to know each other, which was chill. And then on the way back, after we had been through all these states, Jay took
I
a
slept the whole.
like 10.5 hour nap.
It was 8 hours just from Vegas.
It was a long time. You slept before
Felt
Vegas,
great. I was exhausted.
though. Yeah. Anyway, so also make podcast lists before you go anywhere.
Yeah, have something
just in
to
case
listen
you're
to.
stranded alone.
Yeah, I'm not the best car buddy.
But we made it work.
Yeah, I mean, and then as long as we both, I also mentally set myself up knowing that I was probably gonna stink because
Yeah. We didn't shower for 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we didn't sweat a lot though because it was winter. It was
Yeah.
like chilly
Kinda
at night.
nice.
I think
Utah's dry.
Yeah, Utah and Arizona were both like so much drier than California.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just set myself up knowing that I was gonna smell, and you were probably gonna smell. But honestly, you didn't smell.
I smell like maple syrup when I haven't showered.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know why.
Sugar.
Too sweet. I do think there were a couple times where we planned, like we were gonna go to Antelope Canyon.
Yeah.
So we like drove over there or whatever, and the side that we ended up on was like you couldn't hike it. It was like a paid.
We also
thing.
got there at like 9:00 at night. Or
Yeah.
no.
Well, it was late, but we were gonna car camp, and then the next because the whole trip was car camping. So we'd like
And we
drive
didn't
somewhere.
plan anything necessarily.
No, we would drive somewhere that we
You
thought
can
would
park
be cool,
anywhere in Utah and sleep.
and then sleep.
That's
and then
impossible in California.
The next morning, we wake up next to some cool place, which was amazing.
Yeah, it worked out every day that we did it.
Yeah, except for Antelope Canyon, which we ended up going to Horseshoe Bend instead. But that anyway, side story.
That was just a bonus.
I got frustrated that night, and Jay was really good because of communication about being like, "Tell me what I need to do right now. Like, where should we go from here? Like, what do you need me to do?" Because I was driving. So.
And everybody's going to be different, but
Yeah.
it really does come down to if one person is getting frustrated, the other person, I mean, this is my personal experience. This isn't going to work for everybody, but the other person just needs to kind of like buckle down and like be a little bit more patient. Because I know that I can get pretty hot-headed sometimes when things don't go as planned, and you tend to be the person that usually calms me down.
I think
Or
we
at least
pick
is
up, like,
patient with me.
pick up each other's slack pretty often.
Yeah.
Not that either of us are slacking really, but that something is happening where one of us is feeling less than the other, so then we try to find a way to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, we're already at 17 minutes. This is a long video.
Okay. The next question is what does day-to-day travel on trail look like?
I would want that to be a little bit more specific, but for us,
Wake up.
yeah, wake up.
One of us goes and gets the bear vault if we have a bear vault.
We usually switch days,
Yeah.
or if like one of us isn't feeling good that morning, like
Or is extra sleepy.
yeah, I'll try to go out. If Max, I mean, usually Max can get right up, but if Max is not getting up, I'll try to go out and get the bear vaults.
And then in our bear vault we have caffeine of some sort, usually some type of powder.
Yeah, or those little like Cliff Block chews.
Yeah, or the Mio stuff, or whatever it is. So we do that in our water. We mainly do cold breakfasts.
Yeah, I just don't want to heat stuff up in the morning.
It
It's
just
just
takes
extra.
time and effort. And then we kind of eat we take down camp, put everything in our packs. We brush our teeth sometimes.
Sometimes that happens at lunch.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss.
But brush your teeth, y'all.
Yeah, no cavities on trail. And then we just start hiking, and we eat while we walk, and we hike until lunch, and then
I usually
eat
do
lunch.
like a split up breakfast thing where I like eat something and then I eat something pretty close after that.
Yeah.
And then it's like snack and then lunch.
Okay. I just eat granola bars all morning until lunch, and then my lunch.
Can't
is
eat
the same
oatmeal
every
anymore.
time. No,
Threw up oatmeal on
Jake threw up
PCT.
Yeah.
It's not good.
not good. And then we stopped for lunch somewhere. On the PCT, we took lunch naps.
Yeah, we try to
lunch
kind
naps.
of gear that around in the section we did, it was the desert, so we tried to gear that around the hottest time of the day. So usually we could push through noon and it would be okay, but like definitely by the time 1 o'clock hit, it was like we really need to find some shade and sit here until like 3
Yeah.
or
Till
5.
the heat of the day was over.
We were really lucky too. We got really good weather. So even on the hottest day,
low 90s.
Yeah, it was still not over 100.
Yeah.
And so we did all right. But yeah, we'd find shade. We'd usually eat right away, and then
Take a nap.
Max would nap. I would usually just relax. Maybe there was like 1 or 2 times that I was able to nap. I'm just not a napper.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'd usually sit there for a few hours, really, just to like get out of the heat of the day. But we have been on the TRT in not so hot conditions, and usually we'll sit there for like an hour. The key thing is putting your feet up.
Yeah.
Always put your feet up on your lunch break.
Yeah.
Because you can pump out so many more miles if you just put your fucking feet up at lunch.
Yeah. And then we walk until dinner. We set up camp, and then one of us sets up camp while the other one is starting dinner, and then we kind of help each other out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then we eat, have dessert,
Mm-hmm.
go to bed.
Yeah,
Sometimes you'll read.
Yeah, sometimes I read. I thought about bringing a Kindle on the trail, but it was kind of pointless. I just read off my phone.
I'm tired all the fucking time, so I can sleep wherever, whenever.
Yeah, I what helped me. I have a hard time falling asleep, so I would take CBD. I brought gummies. They did melt in the desert at some point, but generally the gummies worked.
And Tylenol PM was a game changer for me a couple nights when my back was hurting too much.
There was a few nights that I had this whole issue with antibiotics and sun overexposure in the desert, and my hands were like, it was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. And so I had to I do not recommend this because I don't know how this works for most people, but I had to take a few gummies and some Tylenol PM to even consider sleeping.
Yeah.
So that Tylenol PM is a good idea, I think, because, it helps with swelling. Don't take a lot of it, though.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We have 2 more questions, but this is a long video, so let's call it
Wait, what are the next questions?
happiest moments on trail and scariest moments on trail. We could add that to another video.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to think about that.
Okay. Thanks for
Next
listening.
video. Bye.
Bye.